What is going on, people of Spreecast? It's Mike and Kim here, and I want to thank all of you guys for checking us out live tonight. Tonight we're going to be talking about suits, blazers, sports coats, and at the end, if you guys have any questions about anything else, let us know. But definitely want to thank all of you guys for jumping in and taking some time on, what's that, Tuesday?
I think so.
Tuesday, Wednesday, I don't know. I'll tell you what, I mean, we're in Arizona here, and it is hot, guys. I mean, hot to trot.
108 today.
No sound. Sounds good here. Oh, my. Every time
Everybody
with
else
the Spreecast,
has sound,
sometimes
Anthony.
sound
It's just
this,
Anthony.
sound that,
Everybody else
video.
has
I
sound.
can't see this. I lost my leg in Nam. It's always something with Spreecast, but we're live here. Thanks for we're on Spreecast, so we haven't been on in a while.
No.
We shot the Spreecast. Hopefully tonight the video quality is better, the audio is better, and we can have a good show. So video 7 to 10. Brandon says awesome. We upgraded some internet here. I don't know if this is going to matter, but hopefully you guys can catch us out clearer.
We are paying through the nose for it.
Paying through the nose for everything. That's how life is, right?
Oh my gosh.
I should get a satellite dish, some kind of super beamer out here in the desert, because
I don't know.
Oh my God, you guys would freak if I told you how much I was paying for internet.
It's ridiculous. We just upgraded to another level of internet, thinking that might help out, and oh my gosh.
Craziness.
Yeah.
So hey guys, all right. So really, I wanted to make this Spreecast here tonight with Kim and talk about suits and blazers and sports coats, and we're gonna kind of get into here how we started selling it. And I started reselling, guys, probably 15 years ago, right?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Full time. I mean, doing this, that, and we were buying certain things. And as we were growing, we had 100 items here, 200 items there.
Mm-hmm.
We kept asking ourselves, all right, we were selling stuff, getting $10, $20 profit. Yeah, that's great. We were finding some items that we were selling in bulk, making a couple dollars, but we'd sell 50, 60 of them a day.
Right. And sometimes we'd find something where you'd hit a home run.
Yeah,
but most of the time it was just kind of the slow and steady, I'm getting $20, I'd say, on average.
Yeah. And the thing was, it was like each month would go by and we were trying to figure out how can we get more money in, really.
Mm-hmm.
And we started really looking at eBay and just looking at every category, trying to understand what can we find consistently that we could sell. Now, we were already selling clothing.
Right.
But we never really dabbled with the suits.
No, it was all about the vintage tees at the time, the vintage concert shirts, vintage, kind of funny tees, that kind of thing. But while it sold consistently, it wasn't always enough. There were definitely times where it would be super slow and it was, ooh, how are we going to pay for this bill and how are we going to pay for that? And it was just, while it was consistent or steady, it wasn't always consistent.
Yeah, sometimes it felt like, we were growing our business, but not at the rate of the effort we were putting into it.
Yeah.
So, we were grabbing, like Kim said, T-shirts, crew necks, jackets, button-down shirts, everything we could find. We were doing women's clothing at the time.
Yeah.
But then we really went in depth after one night I was sitting there on eBay, and I was kind of struggling, guys, to be honest with you. I was just like, you know what? We were making good money, but not great, right? It was almost like
it wasn't enough.
Yeah,
Like it was just like at this point here where it was just barely covering the bills and there was not any extra. Like one trip to McDonald's and that was that blew you over.
We always had to keep buying inventory. That's the name of the game. So after we paid our bills, we'd have a little inventory left over, but I said to myself, all right, there's got to be a way with reselling where you could take and get higher margins on stuff. There's got to be something out there, right? Now, obviously, yeah, there's tons of items, there's tons of niches, there's all different types of stuff.
Sure, and it's not like it wasn't like that with the vintage shirts either, because there were some that certainly commanded several $100s worth, but it wasn't like every single day a $300 shirt was selling.
Yeah.
If that was the case, then we probably never even would have looked into anything else.
No. And then, this is before I started branching out and designing my own websites, doing all this, and then creating my own T-shirt lines and all this other crazy stuff. This is before Amazon FBA, you know. So we were just kind of like, what do we do? So I started really heavily looking at the suits. And back then, there wasn't as many sellers as there is now. And I really, honestly, haven't even talked about suits or any type of that type of stuff ever publicly, I don't think.
No, it's kind of been our little secret. Occasionally, maybe a little bit, you might have said, I sold this, this brand, but I'm hard pressed to remember exactly when that might have been.
I don't even think, because honestly, I kept it as like my little baby. We kept it like, gosh, we don't really want anybody to know about this.
Yeah, even, pick for profit members, anything. We've kept it really to ourselves.
Yeah. So, at the end of the day, then what we did is we went and started buying these, right? At the time we had like a 4-megapixel camera, and we just
I
had a
might
cheap
have been
mannequin.
a 2-megapixel.
Yeah, I mean, it was
a long
it was
time
nothing,
ago.
but at the time it was like, whoa, this thing is cool, man.
Yeah.
Look at the photos on this. And we were selling these suits, and we were selling them. We just had a simple mannequin. We put a dress shirt on it, throw a tie on it, and
oh God, did we even have a mannequin at the time?
well,
I don't remember us.
We did because we were doing the clothing.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it was like
I was gonna
super.
say because I remember you putting some of them on sometime. Well, I guess maybe we took it both ways.
Yeah,
we tried the mannequin, then we'd have Mike try them on, and seeing which way things would sell better. Did it sell better on a mannequin, or did it sell better when somebody was actually wearing it?
Yeah, because believe it or not, if you actually look on eBay or a lot of websites, like the niche websites, in terms of photographing stuff, right? Obviously, if you can model it somehow, it's better.
Yeah.
Because people can see how it fits. I mean, look at women's clothing, for example.
Yeah.
I mean, women wear a shirt and it fits them really well, and then all of a sudden they're getting $60 for it.
Yeah.
Because it fits nice on them, and the customer can see the visual.
Yeah.
That's really the most important thing when it comes to any type of clothing is a visual. But most importantly, with like what I'm getting ready to talk about is suits and blazers, you have to be professional.
Yeah.
I think you really do.
It has to look professional. It can't be just thrown on the floor or sitting. Really, it shouldn't be sitting on a hanger. It really needs to look classy.
It's got to be amped up. And the biggest thing with all that is just understanding an image. You're trying to portray an image. And I'm going to show you guys a bunch of stuff here. If you're sitting in front of the computer right now, or if you're not, if you're on your mobile and you're running around, I definitely recommend go back and watch this video because I'm going to throw a lot of links in here of stuff that you can learn really fast about men's suits, blazers, and sports jackets. Mm-hmm. But back to here we were. So we first started getting these items, and they are a little bit time consuming compared to a baseball card listing that or a T-shirt, right? It's a lot more in depth. There's a lot of measurements involved, right? You got to be pretty accurate, and obviously, like any clothing thing, you get returns. I mean that's part of the game. So
well, it's clothing. So
yeah. But what we found over the years when we first started doing this is it started boosting money, didn't it? Mm-hmm. I mean, these things aren't these. It's not like if you guys run out and find these right now, that you're going to sell all. Let's say you found 100 tomorrow.
Yeah. Not
all 100 are going to sell by the weekend, right? It takes time, like anything else. It's no different than any other product. It's no different than a 600,000 K ranked book. It's just you're waiting for that buyer to come in.
They are not always the quickest turnaround, but with this, on the same token, once somebody has found you and finds what you're selling and finds that you have quality items that you listed accurately, you've got beautiful pictures of, you've got accurate measurements of, you get a lot more repeat buyers that are loyal to you then because they know the quality of what you have. They know that what's in your description is accurate, and almost more so than any other clothing, those are the people that tend to be those repeat buyers and really, what I need a new suit. What does Mike have up today? Or
they bookmark
obviously.
Your store. Mm-hmm. They go through it. They want to see what you're doing every week, and as long as every week you're pumping out something new, you will start to see certain names. I mean, I can't tell you how many clients that we've got. Like, I mean, we see the same names over and over and over.
To the point that there's a point that when there are certain items that do come in, we know John Smith over here buys this type of item. And, hey, John, here's some whatever it is that he's looking for that we just got in, new inventory. Do you want a shot at this before we put it online? Yeah. Yeah. And it's a great thing to have. Now you've completely gotten rid of fees and everything else.
That's
a completely different subject.
Honestly, I'm the biggest believer in if you're growing this resale business, you obviously want to continue to use eBay and Amazon, but go down the road and as you get bigger and you have funds and you have a little more time involved, create your own website and create your own niche because that's really where we make a lot of good money on these websites. They just boom, 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 and but that I didn't get to that point by just starting it with zero money. It
wasn't overnight.
Yeah, I mean, I had to build lists of customers. I had to build domains for snapback hats. I've got a domain that's only snapback hats, right? Mm-hmm. I got a domain that's only concert shirts. I got a domain that's only for like men's suits and ties. Mm-hmm. Okay. And I'm telling you, if you just keep following through, as you know, and if you can stick through with this and you can make money reselling, look into these other avenues because they're huge.
And that's the thing that a lot of people, I know we're just a tad off topic here, but that's the thing that a lot of people don't realize. And since this is a public video, I think it's a good time to put it out there, is that you can make huge amounts of profit doing this.
Yeah.
There's no doubt that you can. However, it is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It is not you are immediately overnight going to become a thousandaire or 100,000aire or a millionaire. It takes a lot of hard work and dedication and persistence on your part. So I just want to throw that out there that, you know, while this is a niche that we're going to talk about right now that we have found that works well for us, just remember that it's something to add to your arsenal. It's something to add to your tool belt in addition to the other things that you're selling or that you're going to resell.
Yeah, and you know, the biggest thing with that is just understanding things take time, and things take time, but that doesn't mean you don't get that suit or that blazer enlisted tomorrow and it's gone tomorrow.
It happens. Right? It happens all the time.
From my experience, unless it's something super rare, super killer, these are buy it now best offers. You let them sit, let them marinate, and then they sell, right? Obviously, if you want to compare this to doing Amazon FBA is a lot easier. You scan the stuff in, you throw it in a box and let it go, right?
Well, Amazon traditionally is easier than doing eBay.
So like this here, what I'm talking to you guys about is, it's something, if you're not looking into this right now, trust me, just trust me. If you go around these thrift stores, you will see what I'm talking about.
Yeah. One of the best things about suits, this kind of segues into the next part, is one of the best things about suits is that a lot of times Goodwill, Salvation Army, even garage sales, if you're looking there, because certainly that is a good place to look, as well as estate sales. You know, unfortunately somebody passes away, but they had very good taste, let's say, you know. But they're undervalued somewhat, and not always, and certainly Goodwill and Salvation Army have raised their prices. We all are aware of that, but a lot of times the suit coats, the suits themselves, blazers, sports coats, they've sort of been overlooked, I guess, in a way you could say. And a lot of times you can get them for very reasonable, most of the time $5 or less, not always, but I don't think that I have seen one even recently for more than $10. Yeah. I was going to say.
I saw one the other day. It was like $19.97, and I looked at it, and it was a Ralph Lauren. And I said, that's really not a bad price, because I usually sell those between $60 to $100 just for a basic Lauren like Ralph Lauren. So I hate spending $20. We're so used to buying it for $2-3 that it's like no brainer, right? So you got to understand the mentality too. But we've scored mega times estate sales. Find places that are a little bit more wealthier neighborhoods, and when they have sales, especially estate sales, I mean, I have gotten like $300-400 Armani jackets.
Right.
For like $3.
While everybody else is looking for the collectibles, the collectible toys, the collectible glassware, tchotchkes, that sort of thing, records, you know, all that kind of stuff. Mike's in there going through the old man's closet.
I'm digging through the old man's closet. I'm looking for shoes. I mean, I'll even go into the women's stuff. I mean, I'm here to make money.
Right.
And while everybody else is running around looking for records or looking at glassware or whatever, I'll eventually get to that and look around after I go to my spot.
Right. And let's face it, when somebody is advertising an estate sale, and you know, the estate companies that do the estate sales, when they're advertising, they don't generally put the clothing.
No.
I don't know if
sometimes if it's super high end and they're just a little ritzy.
I mean, we're talking rarely do they show pictures of the clothing that they have, because they're looking for that high end collectible buyer, that sort of thing, to buy, you know, grandpa's 1920 piano or whatever. And so the clothing is oftentimes overlooked, and estate sales are notoriously overpriced, especially on the first day, but not the clothing. They're like, you want all that clothing? Take it for a steal.
You walk in there and you spot some of these big name brands, because a lot of times you're going to have the suits, you're going to have the shirts, shorts, you know, you have it all right there, belts. And just say, wait a minute, all right, I'm game for it all. How much?
Yep.
A lot of times, like, really? They look at you like you're almost like
you're stupid.
Well, not just that. They probably, I've had this happen to me where I think that they think, and I've had them say this, oh, you're gonna look great in all those. Remember that one we went to?
Yeah.
And I was like,
yes,
I'm like,
yes,
it's a 4XL. I'm like, it's a 4X. I'm not gonna fit in a 4XL, you know. But I was like, yeah, you know, we'll see how it goes. So you can't pass these up. So those are really great places to source for this type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And really, to start doing this, it doesn't take much.
No,
I mean,
honestly, if you're, you know, a thrifty hunter, and if you're in this business or wanting to get started in this business, certainly that's what you need to be. We started with very little capital, folks, when we started. Very little capital, and had to keep growing and moving it forward. But the ROI on these products, which stands for return on investment for the people that may not be familiar with it.
I didn't know that, Kim.
There are some people that may not know that.
I know.
So
teacher.
The ROI on these products is 100% sometimes, 200%, 300%. It's really amazing. You could find at Goodwill a suit coat that you bought for $5 that goes for $600 all day long.
Yeah, easily. I found 2 yesterday where they're 200 plus jackets.
Yep.
Easily.
And it was half off day.
Was it yesterday?
Yeah. Well, on the 2 tags that you bought, it was 50% off those 2 tags.
And that goes to show you, because that Goodwill, right? They have a price. They have a different color tag every week.
Right.
But those colored tags are 30 days old by the time they have them on half off this Goodwill. So there they were. They sat there that long, and I waited. Right, I took my chances, and I even had Goodwill employees tell me, say, "Oh, yeah, don't buy that now. Like, I brought some suits up. Oh, just put it in the rack. You know, tomorrow it's gonna be half off for next Monday, because they know they don't sell that much."
Very rarely, and especially out here in the Midwest. When we were in the Midwest, it was maybe a little bit different, especially in the cool months. Or think about right now, especially weddings. It is wedding season, ladies and gentlemen. May, June, July. You know, this is the wedding time. Springtime as well. Springtime weddings. But that isn't necessarily to say that people don't buy these during the winter months. You know, you
they buy them all the time in the winter.
Absolutely.
So it's a 365.
There's no like, oh, this is a seasonal product, because somebody's always in need of a suit. Let's say just for work even. You know, people are in need of a suit, but then there's always those special occasions, weddings, bar mitzvahs, confirmations, all that sort of thing, that people are constantly looking for a suit, or even going out to the club.
I didn't want to do that. Sorry, guys. I was trying to do this here, and it's put on air, but submit. All right, hold on, because it changed this on me. I want to be able to. All right, I'm going to put copy this link in the chat here, okay? While we're talking and doing all this, here's a video I want you guys to watch. You got some free time. It tells you the difference between a blazer and a sport coat, okay?
Which a lot of people don't really know the difference between them.
So.
And it's good to know, especially when you're doing your listing, because somebody's going to be typing in sport coat and they may not know, you know, you may not know the difference.
And let's see, I just
put it right
there at the top. So there it is. You can go take a look at that when you're done. Like I said, I'm going to fly through a lot of these links so you guys, if you could bookmark them or maybe replay this and take a look at it. There's that one there. And it's a very important to understand the differences. And it's not that difficult.
No, but many people don't. I'm sure there are many men out there that don't know the difference between.
Sure, yeah. I didn't know until, you know, one day I looked into it. You know, but, you know, it's a very important to understand that this niche is a super niche. I mean, like, you could rock it. You could make, I don't even know, how do you even say it? I don't even know. You could pull in thousands of dollars a month doing this.
You absolutely could. And I know you had said earlier, you know, we were doing this before lots of people were on there. Folks, that doesn't mean that there's 300,000 people right now on this either. This is something that not a lot of people are on. Really, relatively speaking, there are not a ton of sellers.
I've always been shocked over the years that there hasn't been more.
Yeah.
And I'm always listening to somebody when they're talking, like whether it's YouTube or whatever, and I'm hearing them talk about sports jackets, and I'm just like, I kind of cringe. And I'm kind of you're probably asking right now, well, Mike, why are you talking about it now? Well, I just think now's the time to do it. Now's the time to do it. I wrote a little bit of a guide on it, and it's kind of like, hey guys, you can make a killing.
Yeah, the potential is there for everybody. There's not a lot of people in it currently. And I mean, let's say you go on eBay and you go and look and you say, but Mike, there's 100,000 or 150,000 people selling a Ralph Lauren jacket.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things, while that number sounds huge, in the grand scheme of things, it really isn't. Because if you go look at, let's say, type up the listing vintage shirt, you've got 2 million people, let's say. Yeah. And I'm just making up numbers here, folks. Okay, yeah. I'm making up numbers. But, you know, you have a larger percentage of people selling that kind of thing than you do this.
Without a doubt. And then that's where really right now with a lot of these, there's so many different sizes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of custom made ones. It's a lot of times you're the only one selling it.
Right.
I mean, really, and the worst thing to do is like you see it on eBay. People will throw some of these sports jackets or suits, $15 shipped on an auction.
Oh.
And you know what?
It's going to cost you $15 to ship it, folks.
Yes. At the end of the day, if you don't know, this stuff's heavy. It's going to go priority.
It's going to go priority. It doesn't matter if it's going across the street or across the country or international.
$11 to $15.
Yeah.
Just keep that in mind, right? These are like
shipping.
Yeah, these are like picking up 20, 50, and $100 bills. These suits. I'm no joke. And that's the type of business I like to do.
Right.
Like when I sell T-shirts, I sell them for $35. Right. It's a quick $25 every time. Boom.
Right.
Transaction done. Here's great. Made $25 today. Awesome.
Right.
On this one order. You know, that's the stuff I like. But I also like the smallsies. You know, like we bought all these Beanie Babies. Right. I don't mind going out there and throwing some of these Beanie Babies out there on Amazon.
Right.
Make it $3-4 or $2. Same applies to books sometimes.
Right.
It all adds up at the end of the day.
Which is a completely different.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother.
You know,
a whole nother topic.
This link I just put up here, guys. All right, this one here. If you're serious about like understanding men's suits, you understand about fashion. This guy on YouTube is called Alpha Male, right? And
I think it's unless you spelled it wrong. It says Alpha.
Alpha. I don't know. Maybe I spelled it wrong.
Okay.
Anyway, it's a great video on how to match patterns. You know, really, because
match patterns like how? So, for example, if you're at the thrift store and you see a suit coat, and then you go look at the pants and you find pants that you think, oh, I think that matches. So is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, just
like
patterns in general, like understanding fashion. Because when you're doing this, I believe that when you're photographing a lot of these suits, there's a time for a white shirt underneath it, right? Just a standard look.
A white shirt is always going to work under any suit. Any suit, a white shirt is going to look. Oh, I see where you're going.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when you start throwing in these multicolored shirts with these killer suits and they pop, I'm telling you guys, they will pop on a listing and somebody will go, I need that. That looks badass, really. You know, that male's looking at it going, dude, that looks hot.
Yeah,
and that to the fucking wedding.
And
I'm not trying to swear, but
yeah, and the suit guide talks more about that too. Yeah, about what we do with those and patterns and putting these things together.
But this is to give you an understanding, you know, if you're going with like, you know, pinstripe suit, go to solid shirt. Yeah, you could. You could maybe go to the different vertical pinstripes. I mean, there's just all different types of mixing and matching. And it's
mix and match your colors.
Yeah, but it's great to know that and see the vibe and see how things are. Look at fashion magazines and stuff. See what people are wearing.
A hot pink shirt, guys, might look awesome under that suit that
that gray
you
suit.
have.
Totally.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
You know, if the person's coloring is right, you know, real men can pull off pink, folks. Okay, so
check him out for sure. Just go subscribe if you're into this. It's great. I mean, he does make some excellent videos. And he actually talks a lot about business and stuff like that. It's pretty neat. Here's another one I'm going to give you guys, and there's more info on all this whole subject. And I'm just throwing these links out there because they're beneficial if you're new and you're not understanding what I'm talking about. But if you're new and you just have never seen any of this stuff, it's great to just have this in your back pocket.
Yeah, it's all about research, all about learning. You know, you can learn some here, you can learn some from the guide and things like that, but also, you know, taking a look at some of these different things will help you get a better idea too of what you're looking at.
Without a doubt. And there's a lot of information on the internet, a lot of stuff on YouTube and Facebook groups and this and that. But just, you know, what I like to do is I like to look at things. And I'm always researching stuff. And I think that's important.
Yeah. And Mike's taken his time today and looked through and feels like the links that he's providing for you here are some of the best ones out there.
Quality,
so he's really waded through the junk for you. Yeah. So you've got them right up here.
You don't have to spend 4 hours Google searching all this other craziness, guys. Here's another one here. And this is just a basic general one. But this is where you could take this for an example. We'll put it up here. Right
there. It is.
All right. Just how to measure yourself for a suit. Before you start measuring a suit or a jacket, maybe practice on yourself, right? Because then you might say to yourself, okay, you never know when you might need that information, right? If you're a short and a t-shirt type of guy like me, I mean, I know my measurements because I used to be a suit guy. But I am telling you, and this is where the mentality comes with a buyer. And they see if you got an Armani jacket that you got at the thrift store for $10, let's say, you're trying to put $250 on it, and you have it all decked out, know the size, and you're looking, and you're just like, man, I was just at that store, I was just at Macy's, and then all of a sudden you're like, I want to buy that. That's going to look great for my presentation. Instead of spending $800, they can get super deals on eBay. eBay is super deals, guys, really, at price points at $100, $150 on a suit. I mean, really.
Yeah. I mean, retail, you're looking at, even a pretty low-end suit.
Let me get into that one right here while we're talking about retail. Go ahead, Kim.
So retail, you're looking, even a low-end suit, you're looking at $200. And I'm talking low end. That's probably the cheapest suit that if you go out to, let's say, Men's Warehouse or Macy's or Dillard's or JCPenney, whatever.
Take a look at this and go and scroll through the pricing of what it is. That is reality.
Yeah, $250 is really going to be the cheapest you're going to find. And you are, ZZ Top had it kind of right when they say, every girl's crazy about a sharp-dressed man, right? There's a huge difference between that cheap suit that somebody is buying from wherever, whatever it is, but the cheapest suit, there's a huge difference in the quality that's made. There's a difference in the way that it fits on a man's body. Not that I'm a man, I don't know, but just from a woman's perspective, you can tell the difference between the guy who's wearing a solidly good suit as opposed to the guy that just had to hurry up and run to Walmart and get a suit.
If you're a bachelor, I mean, you can go thrifting and come out like a freaking rock star.
Yeah,
but not even just the thrifting aspect of buying. For somebody that knows the price of this stuff and they go on eBay.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this is what happens, guys. They go on there and they see my listing sometimes. They go, oh my God, really? Boop. And they just hit buy it now. My size, it's my color. And I'm saving them. I'm saving them money.
Well, if we had known all those years that you had to wear a suit and tie to work, if we had known.
Back then, there wasn't too many people selling them on
eBay
all
those years, to do that, my God, the money we would have saved. Because I mean, I'm telling you, we'd go out and spend $400 or $500 on a suit for Mike. And it was, God, it was really sometimes kind of a kick to the wallet.
Oh yeah. But I needed to have them.
But he had to have them.
There was. I mean, I remember we got two suits right when I first started my first corporate job.
Yeah.
And I ran around with those two suits for a good 6 months to a year. All I kept doing was changing shirts.
Yep.
And then ties, right? And then people started noticing a little bit, like, oh man.
That's the same.
Dude,
didn't I see you in that suit last time?
Or when I was selling robotic stuff and doing that. I mean, you try selling somebody something at $500,000 a pop, and you better look top notch.
And Mike would get to the point that he'd have to make a little list. I wore the gray suit last time I went to see this guy. Don't wear the gray suit again.
I've had people tell me too when I see them, don't ever walk in there with a suit again, because they're blue collar. They don't like that.
But so here's some more links. He had Macy's up there, Saks Fifth Avenue.
So I'm telling you, this is great research because you get an idea of these brands, guys. You understand what today's retail market is for people. Saks Fifth Avenue, Macy's, these companies don't have these up here because nobody's buying them on their website, guys. Okay, really, because people are, and they're doing it every day. They're doing it every hour, right? That's why I'm really amped about talking about this. Because I'm telling you, if you get through it and start doing this niche, you will see what I'm talking about. Here's another one I'm gonna put up on the screen. I mean, Kim, am I crazy when I say this?
No, absolutely not. It's amazing. If you have never even had to buy a suit before, maybe you're a young man and don't take this the wrong way, but maybe you're a young man and your mother has in the past bought suits for you, and now you're on your own. You've hit that age of maturity where you're on your own. And you're out having to buy a suit for the first time. It's really a sticker shock, out there of what's going on.
Go to Mike's Vintage Thrift Suits.com,
exactly.
Right? And then that person who's young go, man, where do I get that at?
Right, exactly. But it really is a sticker shock. And the nice thing that you'll notice as you're going out to the thrift stores and estate sales and things like that, high-end suits, the people who are buying them take care of them.
Yes.
That's the biggest thing. They know that this is a quality suit. They know that it needs to be dry cleaned or whatever the care instructions are. These types of suits do not go in the washing machine. These aren't Dockers, they don't go in the washing machine. These people know how to take care of them. They keep them in the plastic from the dry cleaners until they're ready to wear them again.
Yep.
They're lint free. Usually they're in a closet where they're pet hair free. So you don't really have to worry about that stuff. When you're finding them, yes, certainly you need to look them over because the silk lining inside can rip.
Definitely look over them. There's moth holes. You'll find stuff like that.
You do absolutely find things like that. In general, they are much more well taken care of than any other clothing product out there.
Yeah, I see Don's got this comment here. Do larger sizes sell better? Yes, and believe it or not,
larger and smaller.
Smaller, portier. Is that even a word?
Someone who's portly.
You know what I mean? Like portly.
Yeah.
Like oddball sizes, like a 40 by 28 or a 46 by 32. If you look at those proportionally wise, they're not.
Yeah, think about that, guys.
5'11" guy. They're
a 32. That's roughly going to be around a 5'11" guy for 3'2". Yeah, or for 32 in the length. It's going to be around a 5'11" guy.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there. All right.
There's actually something I put in here, guys. If you go back, where was it at?
The measure.
The overstock one. If you go click on that, it actually breaks down what is like. You see the 46R, right, or 46L or 41. They break down what all that means, right? Like L is length, R is regular. I mean, L is long,
and
R is regular.
It's no different than buying jeans. So for the women out there, a lot of times we see this.
Yeah.
We'll see a 10P, 10 petite. P means petite. R means regular, so you're an average size.
While we're talking about this, I totally missed this.
L means long, so you've got long legs.
Yep.
And so it's really the same thing as a man as well. Are you shorter in the length? And a lot of times, let's face it, people come in different sizes. You could be very long in the torso, in the upper body area, but very short in the legs. You're kind of stumpy.
I mean, I got a beer gut. I mean, I'm 32 waist.
Or you are more of an apple style or a pear style. So looking up body types as well. There's body types for men, body types for women. Obviously, in this case, we're talking about men. But we've all seen the man who is more round, more of a basketball. That's just their shape. They're more of a basketball. Then you've got the guy who has maybe a thinner natural waist, but like Mike said, they've got that humongous, that looks like they're pregnant, that humongous beer belly.
Or they got massive shoulders.
Or, they might be very itty bitty in the waist, but be very broad on the top. Yeah. So, it's really not a one size fits all. Just because you're a 42 in the waist does not necessarily mean you are also a 42 on the upper half as well.
And that's where really, measurements are key. Measurements are super important. Never rely on what the tag actually says. That's a secret. And you guys appreciate what I say about that. This link I put up, where was the camera? Right here.
Right there.
All right. That is a glossary, guys, on a lot of terminology, a lot of wording for suits.
Good.
Super, 100. What is that? Go check all this out. It's gangbusters for you.
Yeah.
Bookmark it and read it. And then you'll have it all there. And then actually, they're great keywords.
You have to know this information. And like I was just about to say that, you just said it. Good keywords. You need to know the keywords. What's somebody going to look for when they are finding a suit? I know that I'm such and such measurement. I know that I'm 38 by 32. That's my jean size. Now, another little tidbit though, just because their jean size is 38, 32, doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to be their suit size, because jeans ride differently than suits.
Yeah, look, you got to get that's why you get to when you're doing these the pants.
Right.
If you're getting a suit, right, or even if you're doing any type of pants, whether it's jeans or you have to do the front rise.
Yeah.
You have to have all these
this
information.
You know, you have to know that because I mean, ladies know this. Yeah. We know our dress pants are going to be different than our jeans. Yeah. That are going to be different than our, let's say, knit pants.
Yeah.
Whereas and men, I think sometimes, oh, I'm a 38, 32, whatever, you know, but that's not necessarily the case because I know this from Mike. I just figured, oh, he would tell me his jean size and I'd say, oh, okay, well then when I go buy him some nice dress pants or whatever, oh, he's going to be the same size. And I'd come home and they wouldn't fit.
Yeah, every piece of clothing is made differently.
Right.
That's the most important thing when it comes to clothing. Now, obviously, T-shirts, if they're newer, okay, this is extra large. But I've seen extra large that really could be 4XL. Like a lot of Nikes are like huge T-shirts.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's understanding just it's best to put measurements on any piece of clothing you're selling. But you know what I'm saying? Any type of clothing you got,
right?
Measurements are key. Yeah. Now, do you need a measurement for a snapback hat? No.
Right. Sure.
Yeah, it's one size fits all. Okay. But understanding this is crucial because this will eliminate a lot of your returns when it comes to if you're selling this type of stuff.
You have to have those measurements. And again, the guide talks about the different measurements, how to take them, things like that. Yeah. But even, you know, when I grew up with sisters, my dad was not necessarily a suit and tie sort of guy. So I never really learned how to size men's clothing until I had to start buying for Mike when he got his first corporate job. And I had no idea. Yeah, that was it. I had no idea that when you buy a man's dress shirt, that there's such a thing as their neck size. I had no idea that the neck size or the sleeve size.
And trust me, I don't know if you guys have seen me. I've got a freaking neck the size of a tree trunk.
Like I had no idea. So I knew that his, you know, T-shirts or whatever were a medium or a large or an extra large or whatever they were. So I'd just go to the store. I'd go to Kohl's or JCPenney or whatever, Macy's, or at the time it was Marshall Field's for us in Chicago. And I'd say, oh, okay, oh, let me get Mike a new dress shirt. And he's a size large. And then I'd go over there and I'd be like, oh my God, the dress shirts are not sized in a large. They're sized, you know, by the neck, by the collar size. And by the length of the arms. So it's very important for you to know the measurements, to take the measurements of the suits. And we're talking about blazers and sports coats that, you know, shirts are a completely different subject. I know I'm a little off topic, but the point is it's very important because people are very different. Some people have very long arms, you know, and certain brands have long arms. For women, it's like Aeropostale. I call them monkey arms because I do because I have short. I'm like a T-Rex. I have short arms, you know. But I call them monkey arms because you go and buy one of their long sleeve tops and the material dangles down here for me. Here's my hand and the material dangling.
It's like the movies you see, or sometimes when you go to like a high school graduation or a junior high graduation.
Yeah.
The kids they've got those shirts on and like the sleeves are going down their knees.
And the sleeves like hanging down, you know. And so that's why it's so super important to measure the items because some people are a little shorter in the arm, and so while they might be a 50 across the chest area, you know, to button the coat right, so their shoulders are very, very broad, but they have little arms.
Yeah.
And so it's anyway, maybe beating a dead horse, but it's super important to learn how to measure these things. Mike's put some links up there, and also the guide that he's made has given you some great visuals and step-by-step how to measure everything.
Yeah, without a doubt. And I put up if you're new and watching me in Sportcoats, like who are these people? All right, this is my YouTube channel up here, and I'll have some other links, but we're going to talk more about what we are doing, and we're going to be doing a lot more on Sportcoats. So I'm excited for that. Northern Picker says this, you know, we're talking about sizes. He's working on the treadmill, so you know, for me, I just go outside and sweat for 20 minutes.
Yeah, 20 out here. It was pretty hot today. It was 110 today, so it was pretty warm out here.
And this is the great thing, and this is why I like Sportcoats, because we can interact with you guys. You can see right now, you post something, I'll see it, right?
Yeah.
But here's the great thing is I don't ever want you when you're watching me or listening to me on YouTube or whatever it may be productive.
Right.
Right. I mean, unless you're just like, oh, I just killed it today and I want to kick back, relax, have a drink,
well, absolutely.
joke around, laugh around with it. Great. But this is all designed really for me. That's why I like doing Spreecast and YouTube.
You can listen while you're listing, while you're packaging, while you're doing whatever. And even though we have links up there at the top, you can always go back when it's convenient for you. Come back and see it. Click on that link and get the information that you need.
This is all here, so you can come back on it. And if you have any questions, let us know. If you have a question now, leave it here. Put it in the wherever they put the free the chat thing.
Right down. Well, you can't see me doing it right over there. Put it in there, and we will certainly try and answer as best we can.
Yeah, and now I'm going to get into another topic of suits and like blazers, vintage. Okay.
Interesting.
Because believe it or not,
it is interesting. No, go ahead. Go ahead. It is kind of interesting for me.
Yeah.
For this reason, a lot of times you'll go to an estate sale, and you will see the ugliest sports jacket you have ever seen in your life. Now, hang on, don't say anything yet.
Brian was just talking about that. He put a picture of the Dumb and Dumber.
So you'll see something that you're going, that is the ugliest thing. It's pea green or that mustard yellow or, the ugliest thing you have ever seen in your life, at least according to my aesthetics anyway. And I'll be darned if Mike doesn't grab these things up for like 50 cents a buck. Like they're almost like, we will pay you to take this away.
I take them.
And they sell, you guys.
Ugly.
People right now are so into that stuff. It is not even funny. They're crazy. Into, the ugly sweaters, but that's a different topic.
People are saying ugly sweaters. Forget that. That market's kind of crushed right now, right?
Think about those polyester pants.
When Old Navy's trying to sell
them.
ugly sweaters, I mean, my gosh, guys, that market is kind of dead. I mean, they still sell it, right? But ugly suits, ugly Dumb and Dumber,
people are buying those Dumb and Dumber
like Brian
suits.
Said, I'm telling you, you will rock on those. And if they're designer, like super purple, like rap stars would rock these in the 80s and 90s.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
People are wearing these to prom, you guys.
Yes.
Prom, for a lot of people just finished up in May. And some earlier April, I think, for some people. But kids are wearing these to prom, and they're wearing those ugly suits almost as a joke, like they're taking prom. When we were going to prom, I mean, it was a big deal. Yeah. It was like you were going to a wedding.
I remember I got an Oscar de la Renta suit.
It was like wedding.
I better live it up here.
You're getting the limo, and the girls getting the $300 dress, like it's a wedding, really. Yeah. But
actually, I took that back. I had a Z Cavaricci suit.
I was gonna say I've seen.
If anybody's aged,
raise your hand.
I had a Z Cavaricci. I begged my mom for it,
suit.
And she made $25,000 a year.
and
I begged her for a $300 suit. And she bought it somehow. God bless you, Mom. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the suit, but
thank you for that. And
Z Cavaricci.
And I was not the girl he went to prom with, so that $300 suit really got you far.
Yeah, Brian, I'm telling you.
Seriously though, really, truly. Buy those suits. Kids are wearing them to prom or whatever formal dance that they may have. Sometimes there's a spring fling or whatever. Kids are wearing them.
Bright orange.
Yeah, I mean,
standing out.
And bow ties.
Oh,
it's not. What's hot right now for these kids is not that very classic, classy, sleek style anymore. And for some it is. Don't get me wrong. There's always the preppy kid or whatever that's wearing the very sleek, and that always looks nice. It's classic.
Yeah.
Classic sells. Always.
What's hitting hard right now, I mean, this is just between all 37 viewers and us. Look at some Levi's suits, guys. You'll start to, when you're looking through these suits, you'll see, well, that says Levi's. Believe it or not, some of those actually sell. And they're hideous looking, but the browns, they rock.
Well, that country western kind of look is what it is. It's like a cowboy dress up. I don't know what else. I don't know what else to call it. I don't mean it in an insulting way. I just don't know what else to call it. It's like fancy cowboy-ish.
It's Western wear. I guess
Western wear.
But here's the thing, too, is you have to understand, right, when you're looking at this stuff, if it looks unique and it is just screaming at you, and you're thinking, man, that's ugly, probably buy that.
If it's standing out and screaming at you going, Oh my gosh, I am so ugly. I don't, no wonder I'm still on the rack. Buy that one.
Because here's the reason why. Now, obviously, Kim's saying, the kids from prom or high school might
buy. But not
always. But here's the other kicker. The movie studios.
Yes.
Do you guys have any idea that all they do nowadays? I mean, they have some shops that go to the shop, but I saw a ton of movie studios. Props. But the clothing.
There are 3 or 4 movie studios that are continuous clients of ours because of these crazy sort of items that we find. And when they're doing a period piece, 1800s, 1970s, 1960s, 40s, but whatever it is, when they're doing a period piece, they look for the items that we have. When they're doing a funny movie, just like Dumb and Dumber, they're like The Hangover, things like that. They're looking for something completely outrageous. The point is they want that ugly, crazy looking thing. And they're looking on eBay for it or online for it.
Yeah. Or they're, and here's the crazy thing is there's a lot of movies out there, guys. I mean, and they have to buy the stuff somewhere. There are prop houses like in LA, in New York, and Chicago that's got warehouses filled with this stuff.
Right.
And if you actually look into that market in terms of, they actually rent that stuff out to the movie studios.
Yeah,
for big bucks, right? So the movie studios sometimes say, well, wait a minute, right? There's that, that's a cool, funky looking suit on eBay. Mm-hmm. It matches Brad Pitt's size for his Fight Club 2 movie. Right? Boom, shakalaka, $80 in your pocket, right?
Don, exactly. Why would a studio pay full price for someone who is an extra? No, they wouldn't. However, they do pay full price for the main character. Mike has sold things that have been in the Hangover movie, that have been in the Hardball movie, and several others. So they do pay big price for those actors, for the Brad Pitts.
Usually, like with the extras, if it's a mass,
Zach Galifianakis.
If it's like like Mad Men, for example.
Yeah.
Right, they're going to buy the suit for the main characters, right? Whether they're new ones or if they're wearing vintage ones or whatever it may be. But understanding that some of the other characters, a lot of those are custom tailored fit, but they're buying them.
Yeah.
I mean, there are people, trust me, guys, with movie studios, there are people that are in the costume department, and where do they shop? I would bet 75% of them are not going to freaking Macy's. They're not going here. They're actually going to thrift stores and buying.
Yeah, absolutely they are. Or they're going on eBay. And
depends on the project they're working on.
And it's great when they order from you because they give you their FedEx number. Can you ship this out next day? FedEx, here's our FedEx number. Just put it on there. And they don't always order just one thing, just that one item. Mm-hmm. They go looking in your store and they say, we want this and this and that and this and that and this.
And then they
send it all. And here's our FedEx number.
Yeah, if you find any more in the next 10 days, let us know.
Yep.
I've been on the hunt for weeks, guys, looking for stuff for movie studios.
Yeah.
Remember we sold the Tom Hanks hat in
Road to Perdition. I was just thinking the same thing.
Oh my God, and that got lost. Remember that?
Yeah. Oh my God, it was sent to them. It was actually being filmed in the town that we lived in.
Yeah. But we had to have
it sent to New York, and then it got lost on the way there. So then we had to wait for it to come back, and Mike actually ended up having to walk down there and give it to them.
Yeah, I walked down to where they were filming it in East Dundee, Illinois, where we lived at the time. Mm-hmm. And I remember calling up FedEx because it was one of those ones where tracking looked good, but when you went online, it was like zoop.
No, it was
not that. 2 days it went dead. And I remember calling up FedEx and I said, listen, I'm Mike, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, of course, I'm nobody, right?
Right.
But I said, listen, I am not joking with people. I said, in that box is Tom Hanks' hat for Road to Perdition. And they're like, what? I said, yeah, he's filming a movie out here. I said, just trust me.
We said, look up the account that it's under. It's under such and such studios, going to the costume department. And they're like, oh my God, and so they did end up finding it, sending it. We said, now we need it back to us because now we need to hand deliver it.
And I remember getting it and I was like, oh yeah, I got it, right? Because they wanted to go to New York, but they filmed some scene over there and it was too late. I mean, when these guys buy from you, they don't mess around.
And
they're
moving from location to location so quickly.
Something. Yeah. They don't mind going and buying like in a vintage. I was talking before we sold that one mitt to the TV show Bones.
Yep.
They don't mind spending $60, $70 to ship it overnight. They don't care.
Well, I'm sure it's
$1 million budgets, guys.
Yeah, when you've got these budgets, it's crazy. But so absolutely. Anyway, so look for those crazy, crazy things because you never know who's out there looking at your stuff.
Yeah. Be unique, be different, and especially with these type of things, guys, with suits and blazers, there's a customer for it.
Absolutely.
Okay, especially if your price points are good. And there's different tiers of these type of brands, and that's what I put a guide together. It's like 70 plus brands to look for, and I want to say that 50 to 60% of these brands, if you were to grab them, I'm talking over $100 a pop every single time.
Oh, every single time. And it's not just the brands. You're not just getting a list. You're getting the pictures.
Yeah, you're getting
a picture of the tag, so you know what to look for.
Like, so when you're looking, and you can use this on your phone, right? You can go and go
downloadable to your phone,
and then you can see, and I actually tell you what these things sell for, from low end to high end.
Yep.
So if it's low end 30, you don't want to pay 25 for it.
Right. Clearly.
You want to pass unless it's got.
But if you're getting it for $1, maybe you might be okay. It kind of depends. But that's the great thing about the guide is it's telling you what this is going to approximately sell for from the low to the high. So you know you've got it right there at your fingertips on your smartphone. You can see the label. You can see what it's going to sell for, what historically the average is that it's sold for from the lowest to the highest. And then you're sitting right in front of it. You know the condition. You know the price that Goodwill or whatever, whoever, estate sale, wherever you're at is offering for it. What is comfortable for me, for my business model? What is comfortable? What price point do I need to be at? I know this is going to ship priority, so I know I'm going to be spending, let's say, on average $12 to $15 to ship this product, and not always. I mean, but for the most part. So I know I've already got to take that off of my profit. What's going to be comfortable for me? And you'll have that right at your fingertips that you can make that decision very quickly.
Yeah, and there's some brands out there that go literally, they're all over the board, $60 to $6,000, or not 6,000, but like 1,000.
Right.
And there's just different understandings of that, right? And really, you know, a lot of homework can be done if you go on eBay and look at complete listings, right?
Sure.
A lot of information like that. But there's a lot of brands that I've put in here that I have personally overlooked, especially when it was pre-smartphone days.
Yeah.
And I just had no clue about because they're so niche. I mean, there's maybe even 10 or 15 on eBay.
There are some that are very hard to find.
Yes.
They are very hard to find. Not that you can't find them, but they are more obscure. Yeah. You know, it really is a very wealthy person's suit.
There's people that are making videos about this right now, right? And there's a brand that's broken down to like 1,000 suits. And if you understand that brand or that name, you will be selling these for over 100 plus. It'll be something for $300-400 all day long.
And that brand is in the guide.
Yeah, the brand's in the guide, and it breaks down some of the ones, and they're really niche.
Great.
Here's the thing, right? You know, it's just understanding it, right? And you can go to the thrift store tomorrow, and you can go and say, all right, I'm flipping through it, Mike, right? And I see Ralph Lauren. Well, there's different types of Ralph Lauren, right? There's different types. There's their purple label that sells for higher, right?
Right. But there's kind of a lower end Ralph Lauren, if you want to call it that.
Armani.
I mean, there's one that's the one that's meant to hit the middle class sort of person. And then there's a Ralph Lauren that's meant to hit the Donald Trumps of the world.
Sure. Yeah, here. Let's see this one.
You're going to put another link up there?
Yeah, here. It's Steve. Steve's in the house. What's up, Steve? I'm going to put this on the screen here and put that one down. All right. I guess I took it down.
I think sometimes after a while it just kind of goes down.
Chat on the screen. So it's popping up. Right, so there's that one. Okay, so he's showing a vintage 70s men's brown plaid retro two-piece. Yeah, guys,
look for that. It went for what you've seen this before. It went for $56 plus just shy of $10, $9.90 shipping. So $66 it went for.
Okay. On an auction.
On an auction.
You've seen suits like this, guys. I'm telling you.
You can probably pick up that suit for what? $5 tops at the thrift store or even at an estate sale. Again, that's the type of thing somebody in an estate sale is looking at that and they are going, oh, who is going to buy that? We should just burn it. We should donate it, whatever. You can find that all day long and they're $66 in your pocket. So let's break that down for just a second.
Yeah.
All right. It's sold for $66, including shipping. We're going to assume that the seller has the accurate shipping charges. Okay, because sometimes people do lowball the shipping, they don't realize.
They put it $9.90 expedited.
So that's probably their flat rate.
You might be losing a buck down the road.
All right, so we're gonna pretend that this particular seller has got it accurate for the shipping. So they're breaking even on the shipping. They're not making any money on the shipping at all. So $56 then is what this particular suit went for. Let's assume they got it for $5. Well, let's just make even numbers. $50, let's say. So they'll have profit. So they got it for $6.
All right, so $50 after fees and everything.
No, what are the fees? I'm saying, let's say they bought this item for $6. The pants and the jacket then together, $6. So that gives us an even
really,
$50.
We're at about. He sold it for $70. 10 to ship, so there's $60 in there right now. Minus the eBay fees, you're probably looking at about $9. Right? $9 in eBay fees. If that, give or take. And I'm adding PayPal fees and all that. So we're now at, where are we at? 56, 50, we're at about $40.
So I just made $40.
Yeah, $40. Now minus what you paid for it. So you paid
Let's say you paid $5 for it, so $35.
Guys, this stuff, I'm telling you, when I said picking up $20, $50 bills, $100 bills, this is what I'm talking about. You'll be picking these up.
And we're, we're probably very overly cautious in the fees and things like that. I mean, we're probably taking the fees a little bit more than what high. Probably high. Yeah, exactly.
But what I'm saying is that right now, like,
so for your $5, you just got 40 out of that. 40 profit because
you got $40. You run around and then you know what? If you could find these suits at that price, I see is it Morning Acres? Sabres in my area sell the suits with pants for $20. Okay, when we were in Illinois, Sabres is like people always go, oh, Sabres rock.
In Illinois, we had one Sabres nearby.
No, we had one originally, and then they just branched off.
Well, then they branched off. But I'm saying the one closest to us that we went to most often.
Yeah, then there was the one up down the road.
Well,
all right, I'm following you. Sorry.
The one that we went to the most often because it was where we did our grocery shopping, so it was kind of like right there. They were ridiculous in price. I mean, even if you wanted to just buy something for yourself, let's just say that you weren't even looking to resell it. You were just looking to buy something for yourself.
Nothing in that store was under $3.
Oh gosh, no.
Yeah, right? Am I incorrect for saying that? No. That's really what it was.
No, not jewelry, not a pair of shoes, not
even a shoelace.
Not used underwear, folks. Even used underwear were not under $3 in that store.
Craziness. But here's the thing, right? I can go in, when we used to go to those Sabres, I was irritated with it because it was the first time they had a Sabres in our neighborhood. So it was like, what is this place? Why? And then I don't know. I can go on a rant about Sabres for an hour, but at the end of the day is this, right? Okay, they're $20 suits. I buy $20 suits all the time from Goodwill.
Sure.
And from Salvation Army because I look and I know exactly what it is. I know that jacket, even if it's a jacket, and a lot of times it's not like the price I'm paying. They're like $3 to $10. If it's a suit, it's like $10 to $20. And if they think the suit is like a high-end suit, like $20, I'm in.
Yeah.
Because that $20 is gonna push me over 100.
But that's the thing. You know what your ROI is going to be. So it's not necessarily wrong to pay $20 for that suit.
No. It might be a screaming deal.
If your ROI is going to be, high for you.
If you look at the tag.
And everybody's business model is different. You might say, I'm going to spend $20. I can resell this for $40, and that's okay with me.
Sure.
That might be your business model. So if I would recommend that if you're buying it for $20 and your ROI is going to be
40,
35 or 30 or 25, I would not buy something for $20 to sell it for $25.
No, and I wouldn't buy something
I would
for $20.
not recommend it.
It depends. I guess this is the way I look at it, right? Because with Amazon it's different. You can buy something for $20 and it sells instantaneously when it goes in the FBA program.
Amazon's
for $38. I mean, I like to double my money.
Amazon's a little, but for what we're talking about, for Amazon's a completely different thing.
Yeah.
No, we're not talking about ROI for Amazon.
Yeah,
ROI for this, for a suit, I would not spend $20 on a suit to get back $30, $35 on
Would you do it for $40? Probably not.
Probably not. Yeah. Because I know that I can, number one, get that cheaper from somewhere else. And if I'm going to spend $20 on it, it had better be a suit that I'm making like 180, 100 on.
If it's a $20 jacket sitting there with a suit, and I'm not trying to talk about this guide or this visual, but if it's in that visual guide where I see that tag, and it's a at the minimum $200 to $600 suit.
All day long I'm buying.
I'm in like flint.
All day long.
And then I get paranoid and I run around the rest of the freaking Savers or thrift store looking for the rest of them.
Yeah.
Because we've done that. I mean, we do that with you see me when we go to the store. I should film it one time. I'll find a vintage concert shirt from like '84, and I will not leave that store until I find something that's. I know they dropped off more than one.
Right. If there's one, there's generally more.
Yeah, so I run around and I look through and I hate white shirts.
It might only be two, but
I hate white T-shirts. But I look through them because I'm like, damn, there's something in here. There's a nugget in here. But the same applies. There's nuggets in these little sections at the thrift store, guys. The suits.
Mm-hmm.
Expand outside of the Savers and the Goodwill mentality and the Salvation Army, right?
Yep.
There are plenty of mom and pop stores out there
that
even if they have to drive an hour or 5 minutes down the road, that you can destroy it at.
Yep.
They're not caught up to this game that the rest of them are playing with Goodwill and Salvation Army.
No.
We're just going to totally pay, we're charging full retail here.
And it's possible sometimes those places do have higher prices just because they have more overhead. They're not that big corporation.
Yeah.
So sometimes you go there and they're just completely pricing their stuff out of the water.
There was places we've gone to on other areas in the northwest suburbs of Illinois, especially.
Yeah.
We'd walk in there. There would be a section of men's dress suits and blazers, and $2.
Yeah.
And I mean, do I feel bad buying for $2 if it's a $4 suit? No, I don't. That's
what they've chosen to do.
No, same difference. Remember the one thrift store? We walked in and I saw a bag back in. I'm not gonna give the towns. I think some of you guys are watching from Illinois. They said, "Don't, Mike, stop with giving out the towns." But there was a bag and it had a starter jack in it.
Oh yeah.
Blackhawks.
Yep, I remember that.
And it wasn't on the shelf. It wasn't anything. I said, "How much for the coat?" And she goes,
"Boy, that was our honey."
She goes, "Well, that's not for sale." Oh, that place was a honey hole. Holy cow, guys.
They had so much stuff they didn't even know what to do with it. They were giving it away.
So she looked at me and she goes, "Well, it's not. We haven't gone through our system yet." And I was looking around like, "You don't have a system here. If it's a book, it goes over here, right? But the rest of the clothes,
they don't have a system. They had piles of clothing on foldable tables. There was no system.
Yeah, Anthony is what I'm talking about. Church thrift stores. Look, I mean, hospital thrift stores. There's a ton of thrift, guys.
Yeah.
But this particular one, there was a jacket, and in my mind, I'm like 150 to 200. Bing, boom, right? That's what it'll sell for. And I wasn't letting go of it. I would have stole it.
I remember this because Mike kept pushing her. He's like, "Come on, sell it to me, sell it to me, sell it to me." And she's finally like, "Fine, you know what? It's $15." Thinking that she had just
raised at the bar.
Just, thrown a number out there and he was going to say, "Well, that's ridiculous. I'm not paying that." Mike said, "Sold." And the look on her face was priceless.
She was like, wow.
She thought she had just priced him out. Out of the market. He's never going to buy it.
And then after that, she was like, "Well, if you want more of these, I got them for $15." I said, "Bring them on all day."
Mm-hmm.
I'll take them all day. That's the mentality, right? You run these stores. Every store's got a deal, right? I'm in the process, and I'm in the middle of 10,000 processes, but I'm going to have the field map to a thrift store. Like I've thought about this every day of like, if somebody was to come with me and they didn't know like how to thrift, I will take you down each department of the thrift store and I'm going to show you opportunities. Really, I'm that confident.
Well,
I will go down by the drapes.
Let's save that. Let's save that.
The wine's talking, Kim.
I know. Well, let's save that because we do
treasure trove map of the thrift store.
People are going
somebody's going to come up with that idea now. Watch, I guarantee this.
I hope not.
Somebody's going to say they're going to come up with this book or guide, and they're going to be like treasure trove. The complete guide to a thrift store.
Probably.
Watch. That's how life works. Scott's like, that's my new book. That's okay. I endorse Scott.
Well, that's okay because you know what? That the funny thing is that's exactly what we're going to be doing in the future.
So we're doing a lot of cool things, guys. Really, the suits, the blazers. There's huge potential to make money. But I'm talking about taking 20s and 50s and 100s. That I mean this.
Absolutely.
Right? I've made videos on YouTube for 2 years. I've been talking about all different types of stuff, different ROIs. I've been talking about Amazon. This is something that is legit. $20, $50 when you find these brands and you sell them. They're not like snapback hats. The market's changed. Market doesn't change with some of these things.
Some of it doesn't. They hold their value all
Tommy
the
Bahama,
time.
guys. You want to hear about Tommy Bahama? You want to hear about what everybody else is talking about on YouTube or on these Facebook groups? Oh, I got a Tommy Bahama shirt I got for $7. I sold for $20. Great. I'm not concerned about that. If I'm looking for a Tommy Bahama, I'm looking for one that I'm selling that's got potential for big profit.
Right. You're looking for the $75, $80.
Yeah, I'm looking for $50, embroidered ones. I'm looking for this. This is what I'm doing, guys. This is what I've been doing. Suits, jackets. They're not going down. It's going to get crowded, though. I'm going to tell you this right now. It's going to get a little bit crowded down the road because people are down hearing about it, and obviously I'm talking about it.
Well, and here's the thing. For a lot, it's going to be a short-term crowding, to be honest, because people don't seem to stay in this business very long. They don't realize just exactly how difficult it is. They don't have the stamina. They don't have the drive. It's hard to be your own boss. It's hard to keep yourself motivated.
How do you keep yourself motivated? Let's talk about that for a minute.
So you have to absolutely work hard to do this, and you may as well just polish off the bottle. I mean, there's like a sip left.
How do you stay motivated?
It's hard to stay motivated. It's great to surround yourself with other like-minded people. That's how you stay motivated. One of the ways you can do that is through, for those of you that are already on there, I know this is repetitive, I'm sorry, but this is a public thing. So one of the ways to stay motivated is to go and join the Resellers Roundtable, or which is a Facebook group that it's all like-minded people. It's all people who resell, most of us full-time, but some part-time. And you can ask your questions and get honest answers. Get people you can interact. So many people interact with you and answer those questions for you. Another great way to do that is the Pick for Profit website, pickforprofit.com. You learn so much there. There's stuff for beginners, stuff for if you're intermediate, stuff for if you're advanced. That's Mike's private website group. And there are so many video tutorials and podcasts and ebooks and just other things on there that can help you with just about every niche. We also offer a private Facebook group for Pick for Profit members where things that are not necessarily on the Resellers Roundtable are in Pick for Profit. Both of these are paid memberships. Because of the information that's in there, they're paid, but it is a small, tight-knit community that is ready to help you.
This isn't designed for 10,000 people or 1,000 people, right? It's going to get lower and lower, the numbers. That's where I want it to be. Okay, because I feel like right now I could be done with this show, and we can all go in and do a Pick for Profit hangout.
Yeah.
Right, and people start talking, and we bounce ideas off each other, guys. It's brilliant. Right, and we learn things, and it's great, right? But there's also, it's a community where you can bounce ideas. Guys, what do you think about this pick?
You can post your pictures, and there are 30 people like within a minute, 30 seconds that are responding
that have gone live. They're actually at the thrift stores, and they're posting from their phone, should I get it?
And they've gotten
the info and going, yeah, get it. No, don't.
Right, they're getting an immediate feedback.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Javier.
Javier says, Pick for Profit's a 10 out of 10. So awesome. Thank you so much. We try really hard. There's a lot of information. You get access to Mike's personal cell phone number to get in touch with him and private message him and all of that when you're part of it. So let's talk about real quick.
Yeah, real quick though, I want to talk about Richard said.
Oh yeah.
If you're hitting thrifts hard a couple times a week and get all the easy pickings, the competition will go away. So true, right? Create a schedule for yourself, okay? If you were to come into my neck of the woods here and try to pick me out,
Mike's gonna know immediately.
I will know in a second if you're here, right? I know when there's people buying. I know when there's other pickers involved. I know what they're doing. I know what they're buying at these thrift stores. For me, I hit them twice a day. You may sound, that's crazy, Mike. Not for me, it isn't, because I know the routine and I go and I nail it. Okay, that's at one store. The other store maybe once every 3-4 days, right? Guys, I live 30 minutes away from a thrift store, okay?
Oh, yeah.
I'm in the middle of the desert here.
There is nothing in the town that we live.
There's nothing here. The only thing that's in this town are garage sales, and they're great, okay? But there's no way I can live off of garage sales.
It's 113. There aren't going to be a lot of garage sales. Our garage sales go from 5:30 in the morning or 5 in the morning until noon.
Yeah.
If you're lucky. Usually it's from 5 to 10.
And you need to be up at 3 in the morning, which I'm lazy and I'm not up that early. I've gone to these sales at 6 in the morning, guys, and I'm sitting there and I see like a Super Mario game. I'm, oh man, cool, I buy that. Do you have any more of those games? Somebody just came about 2 hours ago and bought it all. I'm like, 2 hours ago?
Yeah. I mean, if that's where you want to be, you have to be up and catch it.
It's like Richard said, you gotta hustle, guys. You gotta hustle, you gotta be there, and you gotta go in and find the profitable items, whether it's men's suits, whether it's button-down Tommy Bahama shirts, whether it's men's nice dress shoes, whether it's video games, whether it's the books. Hustle it. Be there. Own it.
Canadian Hustler has a great comment here.
I'm gonna put that up next.
A lot of people are lazy and won't want to do measurements, pictures, details, etc. And Canadian Hustler, you are absolutely right. Totally. That, I think, is the biggest deterror for people who are new at this game. It's so easy to go out and find this stuff. It's easy to buy. You go out, you're on the hunt, you're buying the stuff, you're excited, you're looking it up, you've got whatever resources that you have available to you, and you say, oh God, I can buy this and I can make $200 on it. This is awesome. And then you bring it home. And depending on, what you're doing, let's say you're doing eBay, because that is the most tedious, let's face it. Now you've got to take all the pictures of it. You maybe have to clean it up. Maybe there's a little bit of repair or something to it, or you have to really take your time to clean it. It's not just a wipe off. You got to do some spot cleaning to it or something. Now you've got to take all different angles of pictures. You've got to upload the pictures. You've got to find the descriptions. Maybe you need to measure the item. You've got to find the keywords. It is a huge process for eBay and kind of a pain in the butt process. Let's face it. It's tedious.
Yes.
I know it's hard for Mike even. And Mike's been doing this for a long time. And it's hard for him to stay motivated to list those eBay listings because it's just boring.
It stinks.
I mean, let's call it what it is. It's boring.
Yeah. But that's why there's something like this, Spreecast, or whatever else is going on where you can enjoy it, whether it's live music or it's Metallica or it's Pantera, and you're just like, man, I'm gonna get through this, and, or if it's Barry Manilow, who cares? As long as it's motivating you to get through it.
Something to get you motivated, and a lot of times
that money starts popping in your bank account, and you're like, that should be the motivation. And then the motivation, especially if you're starting to do this for the first time with suits, you sell that first one. Kind of like, excuse my French, like from the movie that Goodfellas, you broke your cherry, right? Remember they all freaking was sitting out there and they
after he got arrested,
they were handing him hundreds,
right?
That's what it's like, and then you're going, okay, now I'm in the game.
You get that euphoric feeling, you get that high. Really, is what it is. It's a high that you get from, I picked this for $2 or $5 or whatever, and I've sold it for $200, and it worked. Oh my God, I finally did it. And that's what has to keep you motivated. And again, that's why hanging out with like-minded people, being in these groups is super helpful, because at least 3 times a week, I think there's somebody in one of the 2 groups that's saying, oh my God, you guys, I don't want to list. I've got so much to list and I don't want to do it. No, it's nice outside. Of course you want to be outside doing that. So say
in the Midwest, who wants to mess around with eBay right now?
So say to yourself, I need to list for 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day, whatever. Get yourself motivated. Find a way to get it motivated. Get in one of these groups. Get a picking buddy to help keep you motivated.
Your life should motivate you, right?
It should.
I've talked to so many people with thrifting and reselling, and you just go for it. You say, I'm buying this stuff and I'm gonna do it. And I'll tell you what, if you're a doer, really, if you are a doer, and you were like, I need this, I have to have this, you'll go for it. You'll know, right? You'll know. If you're an entrepreneur, you will know I'm doing this and I'm running with it.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna tackle me. Brian Urlacher's not coming to get me.
Right.
Okay? I'm running right, and if he does, I'm running right past him.
Sometimes the best motivation is when you're in that desperate situation.
Yeah, that's when you.
Some of the best motivation really can be when you're going, my electric is getting turned off in 3 days, and it's 110 outside, and I need to pay my electric bill. Or it's 20 below zero, and I need to pay my NICOR bill because they're coming to shut me off. And
I've been down that road, guys. We've been down that road. We were years ago, we were sitting selling, and then life catches up with you.
It does.
You guys have to understand, right? I was supporting Kim, all of us, my family, on reselling, guys, right? And then sometimes it gets a little dry out there. It gets, there's bumps in the road.
Yeah.
I've had these bumps, and I remember sitting there going, oh my God, I got this bill. I have got 4 days to freaking pay this off.
Yeah.
What do I do? Well, here's what I did. I just freaking gave stuff away. I had to.
And sometimes that's what you have to do. Right? I need the money right now, so I'm still making a profit. I'm not losing a profit. Yeah. But what I had out there sitting there for $130, it is now $50.
Yeah, $50.
Buy it now for $50.
And if it doesn't happen, then I jack it back up, right? I do that all the time with things because I've got money in things. Like you guys have money in things, right? I'm not telling you to go buy these suits to put them out there for $150, and if they don't sell in 2 weeks, drop them down to $15. Don't do that. That's just not the point of this. This whole Sportcast is about taking 20s and 50s and 100s and picking them off the floors at the thrift stores, guys, right? I mean, here, Richard, he shipped out 153 units today and still working. Yeah, results, guys. Yeah, it's action, okay? Action.
The best motivator you can have is almost like you need that kick in the butt.
Yeah.
Like if you have a 9-to-5 job, 40-hour-a-week job, and picking is your part-time thing for extra money, you maybe don't have that extra.
I'm not getting that.
Maybe
urgency.
You don't need that urgency because you're making enough, or you're just wanting a little bit extra just to cover this or that. But if you set aside for 2 weeks, let's say you didn't have that job anymore. Let's say something happened, you didn't have that job, and all you could do was your reselling. That's when you need to kick it in gear. And I would recommend for anybody that, is able to do that, even for a week, pretend that if you get paid monthly or bi-weekly or whatever, take 1 week's salary and don't spend it. Don't spend it. Just pretend that it is not even in your bank account, or withdraw the money from your bank account and hide it in your mattress somewhere or in a dresser drawer somewhere, and say to yourself, I don't have this money, it's gone. I need to make up this income by selling something, by listing things, by whatever it is. And even just 1 week, try and live as a reseller to do it.
Yeah.
Where you're just making that money reselling. Just to test yourself, see what you can do.
Hey, I hate my job, I want to quit. Don't just quit. Can you go through this test? Can you do this full time? Right? That's what you have to do that. I didn't have an opportunity to do that. I just had to do it.
Yeah.
Right? There's other people that are listening. There's a lot of people out there that are working jobs they hate.
But they're setting money aside.
But they're making their consistent income that they need every week and every month. Well, when you go from part-time to full-time, you need to make sure that's happening. Because if not, you're going to be in a spot.
It's hard.
Yeah. Dana says, can I check out your eBay store? I don't sell on eBay. Okay.
We don't sell
under my name
personally on eBay anymore. We have a wholesaler network.
We sell through wholesale. We sell through other individuals that sell our products on eBay. Okay. And it's because we've outgrown eBay, really. Right. But I still use it. I need eBay.
Norris.
If eBay was to drop out and say, if eBay disappeared tomorrow, I would lose a chunk of business, but I would not be out of business. That's the key.
While it would be a hit to our income for sure, it would not be devastating.
Totally, yeah.
It would not be a devastating hit. Whereas there have been times where if for some reason we were out of eBay, it was a very devastating. Yes. It would have been a devastating scenario.
Because I've been down that road. We've been down that road where it's like
where eBay was our soul.
eBay kind of just let us down at certain points, right? And especially if you're a new seller and you've got restrictions. Right? It could be a pain in the ass, but just keep fighting through with it. Find other streams, and I've talked about other streams on other Sportcasts on YouTube. I've just been telling everybody, create your own website, do whatever. Never rely on one thing. If you're doing Amazon FBA right now, don't rely on it. Especially right now, if you were sitting there going, with the Frozen, when the whole Frozen thing happened, people probably it's not like the stock market, like they're shooting themselves in the head, but they were probably going, oh, wait a minute, damn. I'm sitting on $2,000 worth of stuff. Me? No, I was already done with Frozen.
Right. Well, and Pick for Profit members had already been doing that for months.
Norris is saying this right here. Be prepared. Prepare the viewers for the suit jacket. Yeah, they're a long tail, but some of them aren't, guys.
Yeah, some of them certainly are, Norris. We did talk about that a little bit before, but yes, you are right. Many suits will be more of a long tail item. You're not going to turn around and sell that tomorrow.
It's like rank 3 million book on Amazon.
But some of them do sell pretty quickly. I mean, some of them you could sell. And again, it's just like anything. Anything reselling is always a game of chance a little bit. You have to have a little bit of a gambler's soul to be a reseller, because it might take a really long time. It might be long tail. It might take a long time for something to sell, or you never know if that perfect buyer is out there tomorrow or an hour from now or 5 minutes from now. You just don't know. So you have to be a little bit of a gambler.
Yeah, you gamble a little bit, but Norris goes on to say, I've had a pendulum listing for 3 months. It could be a price point issue. It could be just it's a bad picture. It could be a lot of different things.
It could be your listing. It could be a lot of different things.
It could be that maybe you've heard on YouTube so many times, Pendleton. Oh, I sold it for 40, 50. Just you've heard the nonsense. You're in reality now, Norris, right? You've been sitting out for 3 months. What do? Can you afford to wait the game? It's no different than me going and buying a vintage concert shirt. I picked up about 15 of them in the past 2 weeks, 70s Led Zeppelin shirts.
Yep.
There was never any indication of me buying that as an urgency to go, I need to resell these immediately. These were investments. These were investments where I bought them for a certain price. I'm going to turn around and sell them at 20, 30 times higher than what I paid.
Yeah, and that's what you have to do.
That's the mentality.
Always with a reseller, you have to know, what is my investment? What am I comfortable sitting on? Because not everything is going to sell. You could buy something that people say, oh, this sells in 5 minutes. You could buy it and it may not sell for you in 5 minutes. So you always have to be comfortable with the investment that you make.
I post things all the time. Oh, I bought this and sold in a minute, right, on Amazon or eBay. Right? I could have been lucky.
Right.
Or I could have priced it the right way it was, and that's how it moved. Or the right buyer came out at the right time and freaking got into it.
Which really, a little bit of this is just luck sometimes, you guys. And I'm not saying that it's sometimes things move quickly because there's a demand for it. And sometimes something moves quickly. Like, for example, a book on Amazon that's ranked 7 million and it moved in 5 minutes because for whatever reason at that very moment in time, that right buyer was there.
Yeah. I mean, and Dana, you're asking this question, why, I guess I don't understand why you source for eBay and don't sell on eBay. Well, I don't sell physically under my name, right? And
we sell on eBay because we have a wholesale network. Again, I'm Pay for Profit. Mike has talked about the wholesale network before. It's something that we've chosen to do. It's a business model of for us. We choose not to sell directly under eBay. We choose to sell via a wholesale network, where sometimes we ship the items out to our wholesalers and they list it. Sometimes we list it for them for a fee.
Right. I mean, it's no different than
we source for that. When we source eBay, we're sourcing for them.
Yeah, and I do source eBay all the time.
Sure.
If you're not doing online arbitrage, eBay could be, and I'm not going to spill beans that are going into the detail about this, guys, but eBay could be your best friend as a buyer to resell. Without a doubt, right? I've picked up so many suits.
You can eBay arbitrage all day long.
I picked up, you name it, from sloppy eBay sellers that are going, let me throw this out here for this.
Yep.
A chitin suit for $29.99, right? I threw it out there on auction, right? This person. I bought it up. I turned around. I took nicer photos, presented it right, buy it now, best offer, threw it to a wholesaler, said, this is the price you put it at. Boom, $700.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Well, we're getting into about an hour and a half here, hour and 25 minutes
opportunities are everywhere.
Of this. Mike does have a guide out, you guys. For those of you that are not Pick for Profit members, if you're a Pick for Profit member, of course you have gotten the guide.
Yeah, before we get into that, though, we need to give away 2 guides. So I'm going to give away 2 guides to you, right? And all I ask is this, is that when you get the guide, okay, or if you win, really, you have to message me, because I'm not going to come running looking for you. I'm not going to, if you live in Maine or you're living in New Hampshire, I'm not driving down and knocking on your door. You're not going to get a letter from Mike, that says, hey, you won. You have to reply back to me, or reply to me so I know. Because I'm sorry, I'm not trying to sound like cocky and arrogant. But
no, but you have to give them your information. It's a video guide, and it is there's a PDF to go along with it. So here's the deal.
All right, so right now, for 2 people, you can have this guide for free, right?
If you're a Pick for Profit member, please do not respond, because
or if you respond, I'll give you something too, right? But then we might go on for another hour.
Well, let's not do that.
Right. Okay.
Stop.
Okay.
Let's not do that.
If you haven't gotten the guide,
if you haven't gotten a guide if you're a Pick for Profit member, you automatically get the guide for free. So please do not respond if you are a Pick for Profit member. If you are not a Pick for Profit member, you have the opportunity to win it right now. Using Resellers Roundtable does not get it for free. I'm sorry. Only Pick for Profit members.
Yeah, everything I do, guys, when it's a guide or a book or something that comes out.
Pick for Profit members always get those things for free.
It's all included.
There are several guides that Pick for Profit members have gotten that we haven't made available. This is the first one that we've made available to others.
We have a gene guide that we put out. A lot of good information in it. And if you're not a Pick for Profit member and you're looking to buy this suit guide for $19.99, you're getting the gene guide. The gene guide's filled with like this. I mean, how to sell jeans.
Here's our special. It's a special offer for a week.
Yeah, if you ever wonder like how to sell jeans, you see them at the thrift store. What name brands to get? I am not focused on like Levi's. Oh, go get the Biggie Levi's.
Yeah, everybody knows that.
I'm talking about the brands you need to be looking for. There's a reason why I was able to pick up a shirt the other day plain shirt, generic shirt, wasn't vintage. It had a name brand to it, right? I knew the name brand. I bought it. I sold it for $70 within 12 hours on eBay.
Yep.
Why? Because it's the name brand. And that name brand has got a special limited edition shirt. And it sells. And when you find it, you're going to find it every day? No. But if you have the information in your head, you know where to go get it. If you've done your homework, right? If you've done your homework on eBay and you're typing in T-shirts or what Ralph Lauren shirt sells better, what size, it's what it's all about, right? So
if you buy the guide for if you don't win tonight, if you buy the guide for $19.99 in the next week, next 7 days, so I believe it's the 15th, you get the gene video and guide for free. Again, it gives you, I'm sorry, just a guide.
It's a complete ebook. It gives you a breakdown on jeans, how to measure them, how to look for them, how to sell them, and what brands to really, really focus on. And then if then it goes down to another further where it's not like it's all high-end stuff. It tells you how to sell these jeans that you constantly see, right?
Yeah.
And the price points. So that's added bonus, guys. I mean, I don't go and release guides.
So the suits, blazers, and sports coats guide, you get a video and you get the downloadable PDF that you can put on your smartphone. So you've got the pictures of the tags with the pricing, so you know what your price range is going to be. And for the next week, you will also get a free copy of the Gene Guide. All of this for $19.99. But
$20.
Let's go ahead and get to the first two people who enter right here.
So here's a question I had, and we're gonna do another one like this. The second question we don't know yet. That's where I need your cleverness. But the first one is this, right? If you've been watching me for a long time, what was my first video? What was I talking about on YouTube? If you can answer that question and you're not in Pick for Profit and you don't have the guide, you will win.
If you're in Pick for Profit, please don't answer.
If you want to answer, maybe I'll help you out. But in my first video, what product was I talking about? Close, Gary. Really close. There you go, Rachel. All right.
All right. So Rachel S., please go ahead and.
So private message me. You can do it here on Spreecast. I think if you go somewhere over here, if not, back in the video, I have my Morning Cup of Joe, Facebook or YouTube. You can hit me throughout that. And Scott, Zuzu Pets, yeah.
Scott, yeah.
But yeah, so definitely, Rachel, I'm gonna send you the guide. Just message me your info. All I need is your email address, and I can send you the guide.
Send it to you via email.
Actually, you know what? For you, I'm gonna send you the Gene Guide, and I'm gonna send you the Suit Guide.
Okay.
That's right.
So Rachel, you're gonna get both guides.
Yeah, you're gonna rock it out. Use the information that's there, right? So this next one now, I mean, here, let's do this. There's a bunch of you guys in the room. There's 37 of you guys. Super appreciate you guys watching us here. We're talking about jeans and mostly suits and having some wine and just relaxing. What should be the question for the next winner? I'm gonna leave it up to you.
Oh well.
Or do you have
I thought I had a question. I thought you told me to have a question.
Oh, okay. Sorry. All right. So, what do you have? All right. What's the question then? Oh, you're snotty tonight.
I'm not snotty.
I have the question.
Well, I was just.
Don't ask them.
No, you can. Well, if you want to ask, he tells me to come up with a question, and then he goes and asks everybody for a question. So, well, then fine, interact. Fine then.
You know what? Your question would be good. What is it? Don't be shy. What is it?
Brian says 42.
42. I'm just answering right now. 27, Mike. What is the question? What would it be?
My question is, Mike's birthday is coming up.
Ooh.
On what day was Mike born?
Day. Well, wait, what?
What day? Not what year, what day?
So like now they can't say Tuesday.
No, they have to give a number.
A calendar date.
A calendar date.
Okay, see? You liked how I corrected you there, didn't I?
You did correct me.
Because people would be like Monday, Tuesday. All right. And then, you know what? Now we're going to go back into, keep flowing with this stuff, guys. Create the question, and I'll give you a $20 gift card right now. To anybody.
Nobody's even answered it.
No, they're just freaking 29s. They're just hitting all these buttons.
I know,
right?
well.
I'm telling you.
My question is good. Gary's got like 72 answers.
Gary's hit every button. He's like, da, da, da.
What? No, Gary, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Close. Oh my gosh.
People are close, but not yet.
I did say yes Tuesday. See, that's why I had to correct that, because somebody was going to be in there and be like, Tuesday.
Well, I have no idea what day of the week he was born. I said, what day were you born?
Shitty and mad and be like, dude, I said Tuesday.
It was June, yeah. He was born in June.
June, yeah. But it's the day. What the month, calendar month. Guys, you missed it.
Not one person
somebody seems to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
See,
6, 7, 8.
This is why it was. No, it's not.
3.
No, it's not.
Oh, wait. Whoa. Oh, it's getting close.
Nope.
6.
Nope. It was indeed in June. So June.
7.
We just need the
day.
Day.
11.
It was June something.
Oh my God, Javier. All right, we slowed down. Everybody's like, we got all the numbers.
Everyone's looking back to see what other numbers other people have said.
Nicholas Hamlin's like, I didn't see 8, but it's 8.
Not 8.
One more. Dawn came in.
Dawn Landsberger.
There you go.
That is who it is, Dawn. So please, again, private message Mike, either on Morning Cup of Joe Facebook page or here on Sportcoats, and you will also get the jean guide as well. So you'll get both the sports coat, blazer, suits guide, video,
clothing guide,
and videos, the jeans guide as well. So very good.
Woo-hoo. Yep. So awesome. Congrats to Dawn.
Very good.
All right. So let's give away a $20 gift card. I need you guys to come up with a question. So get together and then we'll chat.
Well, why would they want to come up with the question? Because then they wouldn't be able to answer. That makes no sense whatsoever.
Well, I thought it'd be like they can be creative when I didn't know the answer. Like,
right.
what is Mike?
What size? All right, Richard.
What kind of eyeglasses are Mike wearing?
All right, Richard. All right. Richard, I agree with your question.
As Mike.
But then you wouldn't be able to answer, and most of the people in Pick for Profit wouldn't be able to answer as well.
Okay, so do you want to create it? I was trying to get like people involved.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying.
Okay, well.
I'm just saying.
I'm trying to understand it. All right.
See, people already know that question.
Okay, well, all right. So.
All right.
$20 gift card. Somebody's got to win this, right? What is the question, Kim? Do one of your like 80s or 90s like trivia things. Like if you're on Jeopardy, what was that one show where? Not Wheel of Fortune. Like where they talk about music. Who sang that song? All right, I'll call.
All right, Dawn says my birthday. All right, there we go.
Kim's birthday.
All right, my birthday. Right. When is my birthday?
Okay, is it what month or what day?
Well, I think. Should I give them the month and they have to come up with the day, or should they come up with the month and the day?
The month and the day. We
could be here forever.
30 times 12. That's 365.
All right, so we'll do it just like Mike's. I was born in July, so pick give the day.
The day, and you get
what
$20
day
gift
was
card.
I born?
I can send it to you via PayPal, or if you want a physical gift card, you gotta let me know. So it's gonna pop through, and then we're gonna end this, you guys. Whoa, Drew Breezy for the cheesy.
Wow.
Whoa.
That was fast.
Drew Breezy. Go back here. Drew Breezy in the house.
Thank you, Richard. I appreciate
Drew Breezy, right? Message me on Sportcast or hit me up on Facebook or YouTube and say, hey, man, it's Drew Breezy here. Remember that? I mentioned 17. I want that gift card. If you don't want the gift card,
or if you just want $20 PayPal, that's fine too.
20 bones. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys understand what we were talking about here tonight about suits and blazers. There's a lot of money to be made, right? If you're interested in my guide, come check it out. You're not forced to buy it. I don't ever force anybody to buy anything.
No, of course not.
It's extra information that would help you kind of accelerate the whole program, right?
Absolutely.
But also understanding
for $20, you can't go wrong. Plus, you get the jeans guide if you buy it in the next week. Or, of course, you could always become a Pick for Profit member in which you get all of the guides and all of the tutorials and access to Mike 24/7, sort of ish, except for when he's sleeping, for the price that you pay for Pick for Coffee.
Yeah. So, guys, you know what? Definitely. Even if you're just like, you know what, man, I don't believe in this guy. Him and his wife are just kooky. Go to the thrift store tomorrow. Hit the suits, the jackets, and look them up. You have a smartphone. Pull it up. All right. I mean, I'm all about free information. I'm all about giving out information and all this other craziness, right? If you say, hey, man, I ain't doing this, fine. Go do it your own way and look them up. I'm not lying to you.
Yep.
Check it out. So we're out of here, guys. Thanks so much for all 34 or 33 of you guys have been watching. Super appreciate it. Hope you guys had a fun night tonight. By the way, tomorrow is the debut of Spreecast, of the Mike and Kim Show.
We do have the Mike and Kim Show on YouTube. The first episode of that, I think Mike put on YouTube. So I have been picking a little bit. Kimmy's Find of the Week for week number 2 is coming up on tomorrow night. That's going to be on Spreecast rather than YouTube.
We sold some stuff. We've done some stuff, but we bought more, right? And we're trying to get to this little goal we've got.
We do. So Mike's going to put the link right up there for you, right up there.
Where did it go?
For the first episode. It's not very long. I think it's like 20 minutes maybe or so. I don't think it's very long at all.
It's like 25 minutes. It's interactive, but tomorrow night it's going to be live on Spreecast.
Ooh.
And it's going to come down off Spreecast, so you need to be part of it.
If you're not part of it, you'll miss it.
Check it on YouTube, the replay, right? But it's going to be very cool because we found some awesome finds. Let's give a little hint on the one find.
Which one?
It's the one where like we were sitting there checking out, and then there was these two things.
Oh.
Well, no, there was the other one too. There's some good ones, really good.
There are
but
some
there's these
good
two
ones
things
that
and, like,
I found in the collectible section.
I want to sell them now. Show you guys first.
It's gonna be interesting. Stay tuned for tomorrow night.
It should be fun, guys. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Have a great night. Go make some money. Go resell. Do whatever makes you happy, right? But in the meantime, we are out of here, guys. Peace. Deuces. Oh, silly face cam.